Rising family, well rising. Welcome back once again. Grand Rising. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back at it again. Another 6 a.m. Another peaceful, serene morning here. Hope everyone is doing well. For our meditation today, of course, we will be doing a regular style meditation guided visual assistance. So to get ourselves in the right mentality for our focus, I do have these images of Orion's belt, the 3 stars of Orion's belt. So for the time being, while we're just discussing and preparing ourselves, we will be looking at these stars visually. We do want the actual direct point of reference so that we can visually push ourselves to those locations with our imagination, with our lucid abilities. So for today's meditation, this is going to be a very strong practice in sending ourselves up and out so that we can begin the actual practice of tapping into these energy bodies. And we'll discuss why these energy bodies are important. couple of minutes here, I'm actually going to get into the discussion portion. Just start sharing some information about Orion's belt here. All right. So just getting into discussion mode here while we're still focusing on the images of Orion. I'm just going to read some things to you. And it says, for the last 10,000 years, human beings have been plotting the movement of the stars, studying the heavens, constructing calendars, and erecting monuments to track the precession of the constellations and heavenly bodies across the sky. Many ancient cultures shared the belief that we came from the stars. Perhaps this is why so much time, effort, and energy has been put into the study of celestial bodies from the ancient times right up through today. 7 constellations and stars have played an important role in ancient mysteries and mythology surrounding the celestial origins of our species, and in the places where these legends emerge. We find structures that correlate with the position of these stars and constellations in the sky. What were our ancient predecessors trying to tell us with this information? Well, with the constellation of Orion, one of the most prominent and recognizable constellations in the sky, as its location on the celestial equator allows it to be seen all over the planet. It was one of central importance to many ancient cultures, as alignment with the position of the stars matches up precisely to various ancient structures, from the pyramids of Giza to those found at the Teotihuacan in central Mexico. Quick pause, little occult insight with that. The celestial equator, that's a part of our internal focus. As we know, Orion's belt, it has the 3 stars, as popularly conceived. Those 3 stars are literally the center point for the Orion constellation. There's a set of stars above, and there's a set of stars below, with the 3 literally in the mid. And so this middle point, it actually serves as the actual direct celestial location that is dealing with, all of the correspondences. When they talk about, the single eye, your third eye, are you being in the middle? Yesterday we did the middle pillar exercise, where we have the three pillars of the outer portions of celestial experience, severity and mercy, and then we have balance in between, which is where all of your energy swells and then springs up out of your body. This same model that we see microcosmically with the body in the middle pillar, energy circulating through the outer pillars, that is a direct analogous or direct repeat of the great macrocosm outside of us in the stars. That same middle pillar that's inside of our body, this is emblematic here through the Orion's belt. That is the same middle aspect, or the same centering aspect. It's a similar centering aspect in the stars that is within us. And so, of course, doing the work here where we travel to those locations, we are essentially traveling to that location within ourselves. Going forward, We know from the pyramid texts, which are among the oldest religious writings in the world, that the ancient Egyptians believed that the gods descended from the belt of Orion and from Sirius, and they did so in the form of human beings. This is critically important to Egyptian cosmology, as Orion was associated with the god Osiris, and Sirius was associated with the goddess Isis, who together are said to have created the whole of human civilization. So, mythically speaking, this story is told through different cultures. Like I said, we've got Isis and such. We also have like Tiamat and Kingu, things of that nature. And essentially, these stories are talking about these larger star bodies or these larger star systems that have either already exploded or collapsed or come into form with one another. And then the proceeding energies that come out of that are other actual universes or other actual galaxies. At times, maybe other planets or other stars. And of course, as those collisions and then the reorganizations happen, we emerge out of that once everything settles. And so, at this current form that we're in, aka called human, that encapsulates our spiritual essence, this human form comes from the Orion constellation in full. Of course, that's what we will be doing tomorrow. But before actually, like I say, expanding out into the full body, we must get to a nice centering, grounding point consciously. So the human form in its, bipedal motion with the 5 digits and a head, that shape is understood to be folded down or given to us as consciously once our space dust was traveling through the cosmos, as like I say, Orion and Isis fought or created the world. But essentially, as all of the cosmic dust began to settle, the large collection of cosmic dust that makes up our human form, it fell or traveled through these electromagnetic centers that make up Orion's belt, that make up the Orion constellation. And as it traveled by or traveled through these centers, those energies literally by electromagnetic force were pulled down in a way, in an organized manner that did create the actual structure of the body that encapsulates the soul. So when we are doing this work, when we are doing this work, we are doing nothing more than a journey or travel back home, a journey or travel back to source. And as far as the spiritual practice is concerned, we're doing so incrementally, step by step, based on the actual locations, or at least the prescribed locations of the places that we have actually been before, the places that have the residue of our memories when we were in a higher form, an actual literal higher etheric state, when we weren't even in a human form, when we still had just a spiritual essence to us without the physical presence to us. And so those same places, as they still exist in real time, our presence and our past memories, our influence in those spaces, they are still there as well. And so that same etheric residue that is present, just as it doesn't go away like a base memory in your mind, that same etheric presence or an electromagnetic pulse that you left, it still is resident in those same old spaces. So that's what all of this work is. We're going back to these places where we were literally more spirit. We were less flesh and more spirit. And as we tap more and more into those spaces, we do our best to lighten our fleshly load. We do our best to reintegrate ourselves and reorient ourselves back into these cosmos and these stars and things of that nature. Because as we do so in the human body and consciously start to direct ourselves, we do begin the process of sending our energy back up and out through these exact same magnetic pulses or portals that pulled us down here. So we're literally just doing the process of reversing. I don't even want to say reversing. I want to say exiting from which we came. And so a part of this with the belt specifically is dealing with the unwinding of the human form, the beginning to detach from the human form. And so these sacred alignments that exist cosmically, we have to go return to those places and literally unravel them, loosen our infatuation in human form to them, loosen our switch, literally switch the energetic pattern that we have with these quote unquote higher minded locations, to where we get to those locations, the energy structure of dependency, where we feel as though they are above us and we are beneath them. We flip that energy structure in meditation, through our visualization, through our intention. And as we switch that energy structure while we're in these spaces, essentially the flow will change. The energy flow will change, and you will feel a shift in your consciousness. And the shift in your consciousness will help, again, like I say, put you back in a more completed astral body, a more completed astral form, because you do, of course, have a astral body that you use when you sleep, when you get out of your body, things of that nature. That is the party that will actually be traveling after you pass. So doing the work to literally reassemble the astral body by going to these locations, upgrading the actual energy that you feel on your body, that you feel on your astral body as you go back to these places, are reconnecting the dots of the full of Orion, which is the human form that we took on, like I said, which must be reconnected in the astral form so that we can continue forward. Well, let's see some more info here. And a little bit more. So Orion, is best known as the constellation in the sky, is known as the hunter. The ancient Egyptians called her Osiris. Its stars were very bright and can be seen from both hemispheres. This makes it recognized worldwide. She is, most importantly, a winter constellation of the northern region of the planet in the southern hemisphere, and it is visible during the summer as well. She begins to see herself in the northern hemisphere in the final 2 days of August, 2 hours before dawn, about 4 in the morning. And in the following months, his presence is anticipated in 2 hours of each month until visible almost overnight during the winter months. This is why within the winter constellations, the northern hemisphere of the Earth, this beautiful constellation is not only visible for about 70 days in the night sky hemisphere, and this is from mid-April to mid-August. She's located near the constellation in the Iriandis River and is supported by her 2 hunting dogs, Can Mayer and Can Meaner. At the same time, she is seen facing the constellation of Taurus. The main stars that form this constellation are Betelgeuse, talked about that before, and the red supergiant, Betelgeuse, which is a red supergiant 450 times more massive than the diameter of the sun. This is a star to be in position of our sun. Its diameter would reach the planet Mars. Then there is Rigel, which is 33 times larger than the sun. This is the brightest star in the constellation, radiating 23,000 times more light than our sun. Rigel is a part of the triple star system, of which its central star is a supergiant, very bright blue. At the same time, the star has a surface temperature of 13,000 degrees Celsius. This constellation has another blue giant called Bellatrix, and this is the 3rd brightest star in the zodiac, the whole entire zodiac. It also has the 3 famous known stars of Hunter's Belt, are the three Marys, are the 3 wise men, Minotaka, Al-Natak, and Al-Nilam. There we go, Al-Nilam. So as it was given or advised to us here, by the is this thing even going? Terrific. As it was advised to us here, Betelgeuse and the star known as Rigel, these are 2 stars that are profoundly more powerful or profoundly more influential than the stars of the sun, or the star of the sun. This exact same profundity that they're talking about is about our energy structure. Again, we come from spaces and places in the cosmos which are way greater, way vaster, way bigger than anything that is offered on this side of things. And the energies that we used to collect from, on energies that used to feed us in our former existence, they're still present, of course, but as it is witnessed, these other stages or these other places in consciousness, they're 23,000 times more efficient or more effective. They're 13,000 times more in mass, more in electromagnetic, electrostatic pulse, things of that nature. These energies and these potentials are talking about us and our infinitude and how we are way greater and way more profound than the limitations that we have here on Earth, than we have on these human bodies. And so again, when we go directly into these spaces consciously and through our astral body, we are literally plugging into a higher voltage, a higher wattage system. Like, let's just say Earth is 120 watts. We go plug into Rigel, we go plug into Beetlejuice, we pump in 2,000 watts, we pump in 5,000 watts. Those are the things that are going to be profoundly needed to help continue the building of the astral body. Going forward, a little bit more before we get to meditation. Orion is present in the Bible. It is a part of the mythology of the Bible, hidden in, of course, a code form. But it says the first time it is mentioned, it is in the book of Job, written by Moses around 1500 BC, Job 9:9 and 38:31. It is also mentioned in Amos 5:8. In the Bible, it implies through these several passages that it is in the north, and it is the place of the room of God. The first of the three texts that will show this following are: Great is Jehovah and worthy, in a great way to be praised in the city of God. On his holy mountain, beautiful province, the joy of the whole of earth is Mount Zion, on the north side, the city of the great king. Psalms 48:1 and 2. The reference being made is mainly of New Jerusalem, but Jerusalem at that time was considered the capital of the universe, where the throne of God is located. Of course, Jerusalem in its location was called Mount Zion, and that is astronomically situated on the sides of the north, which are directly part of the ancient defined cardinal point of divine north. Also, Apostle Paul makes it clear to us under divine inspiration that the Mount of Zion is not actually a earthly Jerusalem, but it is the heavenly one dwelling in the place of God in power. Where it's quoted, "You on the other hand have approached Mount Zion, the city of the living God, Jerusalem the heavenly, and the company of many of 1,000 angels." Hebrews 12:22. Even further, it goes on. "I will go up to heaven, on high by the stars of God. I will raise thy throne, and on the mountain of testimony I will sit on the northern ends. And on the height I will raise the clouds, and it will be the most high." Isaiah 14:13-14. It goes on and on, further, so on and so forth. But the same mystical analogy that they're talking about is the mystic north, or God resides in the north. Of course, on our human form, we just think about a compass, and we'll just start traveling north. I'm in Atlanta right now. That means what? Go to New York? God is in New York? No, that is not what that means. What it is talking about, north, quote unquote, north is actually talking about elevation. So for basic proximity, up, but the up essentially is higher vibrations. Up is essentially up and out of the celestial Earth's surface. And so the whole illusion here, or the whole allegory that we're doing here, is about us going north. It's about us being in a space to where our energy is simply going up. We're getting into higher and higher vibrations to where we are tapping into these stars, and as we integrate and upgrade ourselves to these stars, we actually become these things, or we reattach, we reassemble ourselves. That's how big and how vast we actually are. When they talk about rival being 33, I was at 33 times the size of the sun, or excuse me, it was 13,000 times the size of the sun. We can't even wrap our mind around the profundity of something that big, but that's exactly how big we are. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. It is infinite in how fast we can get. And honestly, the primary goal for us to get is to be so big to where we don't even fit here anymore. We're supposed to be outside of the tangible universe, which is our original home before all of this chaos and madness and movement and energy even started to begin with. So to get ourselves back into a higher spiritual space, we have to literally go through places and spaces throughout the universe and reconnect and reassemble our memories and our energies that are still present in these actual zones. So that is all that we have for today's intro. A few moments here, we're going to transition directly into meditation. So again, I hope you all have been staring at these pictures that I have up. These are just different projections of focuses of Orion's belt. Got one pseudo up close, got some far away, but it's still in principle all the same thing. Ashe, Miss Tommy. So let's take a few moments here to just slowly transition visually. Literally just going to stare at the screen for a few moments. I'm sure you have been before, but I'm going to play catch up with you all. So for just the next couple minutes, we'll be silent and we're literally just going to stare at the stars that are present on the screen. everyone. If you have not already, begin to reposition yourself. Go ahead and get into your favorite meditative stance, whether you be on the floor or sitting. Make sure your feet are firmly planted on the ground. For your hand placement, meditative gesture or a fist, placed lovely and carefully in your lap or on your knees. For the placement of your tongue, may it be at the roof of your mouth to help complete your circuit. Begin to settle yourself in this stance, in this position. Continue to breathe deeply, slowly, and fully. Begin to take in your breath and monitor your breath. With each slow inhale and exhale, feel the movement of energy coursing through you. Begin to listen intimately to the sound of your breath, your movement, your energy. As you continue to breathe, send your focus down to the soles of your feet. Feel energy twinkling through your toes. Slowly shift your focus up into your knees. And course energy through your lower half. Continue. Focus your energy into your lap and your thighs. With your next breath, rise again into your loins. With your next breaths, rise your energy more into your torso. Breathe again and synchronize your energy, rising up into your chest. And again, as you breathe, raise your energy all the way through your neck and head. Continue to breathe and cycle your energy. As you breathe in, cycle your energy up. As you exhale, release your energy down. Continue to breathe in rhythm, in flow, and wash your energy over your body. Continue to breathe and increase your movements. As you inhale, also raise up the right side of your body. As you exhale, release down the left. Continue to breathe and synchronize your energy with your breath. Cycle up, cycle down, cycle left, cycle right. With each breath, feel your energy growing stronger with each movement of energy. Begin to see yourself grow more intense with light, more intense with energy, more intense as all things. Growing in intensity and power, begin to slowly see yourself lifting right off the ground from where you are. As you continue to breathe, slowly continue to lift. See your feet leaving the ground. Feel your presence becoming lighter and more fluid. With each breath, slowly project yourself higher and higher into the sky. Continue to breathe and find yourself freely and easily beginning to float higher and higher with your breaths. As you continue to breathe, begin to drift and notice that the blue of the sky slowly begins to drift into the darkness of space. With each breath, take a moment to absorb the energy of this star. Visually see yourself going directly into the orb of light, directly into the energy of the star itself. Continue to breathe and allow the energy to course through you. Talk. Continue to breathe. Begin to match your exhales with slowly leaving Al Nitak. Feel the integration of energy upon you as you slowly step away from the star. Next, shift your attention to the center star and slowly synchronize your breaths and travel to that energy space. Begin to visualize yourself going directly into the star itself. As you penetrate the star, begin to affirm the name Al Ni Lam. 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 Continue to breathe and take in the energy. Now, match your breaths again to slowly step away from the star. Feel the change in your energy. Notice the shifts within yourself. And next, begin to shift your attention to the rightmost star. Begin to slowly project yourself into the star itself. As you begin to integrate your energy into the star, affirm the name Mintaka. 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 Continue to breathe. Absorb the energy from the star. Now, with our next breaths, slowly begin to drift away from the star. Visually, distance yourself to where you see all three present in front of you. As you see all three in front of you, lastly, imagine the three stars sending you a cosmic laser or a ray from them directly into your heart chakra. See beautiful beams of light penetrating you from the three stars directly into your chest. What colors are these rays as they hit you? What energies do you feel as they're being directed towards you? Take in this ray, take in this energy, take in this information. Begin to synchronize your breaths with the flow of energy that is coursing through you. Now, with your next breaths, slowly and peacefully return the laser back to the stars. With all of your exhales, begin to slowly bring yourself down from the cosmos back into the atmosphere of Earth. With each exhale, slowly see the darkness of the cosmos transition into the blue sky. Continue to synchronize your breaths. Continue to take in this refreshed energy of yourself. And slowly continue to drift back into your body. Find yourself descending slowly and peaceably back into your body right now. And with your last breaths, slowly begin to orient yourself into the present moment. Begin to breathe and begin to reintegrate yourself into the energy of today. And begin to rest in your revitalized self. Once you are willing and able, you can open your eyes and you can begin the process of your day. All right, everyone. Magic. Yeah, purpley pink lasers. Terrific. 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 All right, everyone. It is 7 a.m. That is correct, Magic. They were charging you in a way that you cannot describe. I felt so big when I came down to my body. Yes, you're doing a direct exercise and expressing your actual soul, or your actual soul potential. You are more profound than the whole entirety of this whole 3D space. Ponder upon that if you can. The whole entire size of the known universe does not compare to the infinite size of yourself. So, yes, this small exercise that we did in integrating our energies to particular stars that are way more profound, way larger than the sun, we can inherit or we can transmit energy that is for us. The same way that the sun sends energy to us that we live off of, these other stars do as well. So, I'm glad that we had some testimony from someone receiving. I'm sure the rest of you must have as well. If not, you're still in transit, which is good. But we will be doing more work tomorrow. So, love you all. Well rising. Many blessings. Peace.